Putting hands on the belly, breathing in, feeling that breath, moving the hands, just option there so you can aesthetically connect with your body. And also just going inward as you're breathing like that, feeling the bones in the body, the entire structure of your skeleton, and just letting it be very, very, very heavy. If your back is really tender today, feel free to bend the knees so that your low back, gets a little flatter. You kind of take that curve out, and that will probably also help your shoulders and your neck if you're feeling a little tender there. So yeah, the feet can go wide and the knees in. And just taking 3 more breaths here. So we're all arriving together. Thanks for coming. And if you're watching this later, thank you. One more good breath. So if your knees are not bent yet, go ahead and bend them up. And if you'd like to take the arms out to T, so we can gently rock the knees side to side a couple times like that. So the feet can stay on the ground, or you can take the knees into the body if you prefer that way to kind of curl up even more. The head is optional if you want to leave the head on the ground or if you want to pull it up toward the knees. So just taking those rocks side by side. If you prefer to rock forward and back or take circles instead, by all means, just check in with your back, your breath, stay connected with that. Let's take the legs long down the mat, arms overhead. Option here to interlace fingers and press the palms up. Big stretch, and then bringing the hands down, let's bring the right knee in, and again, interlace the fingers around the shin a couple inches below the knee, and just give a little pull. So that knee starts to draw towards the right shoulder just a little bit, but the hip and the knee all stay in kind of a line together. We're not taking it out to the side or anything. You're just pulling it in towards the body a little, letting that side go a little bit past the side waist if possible. Kick a little bit through the left leg. Just engaging that left leg. Start to tuck the chin and keeping the head on the ground. Just again, we're just straightening the spine a bit, taking the curves out for the moment. One more good breath, inhale, and as you exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend, legs down, arms overhead again, big stretch if you like. Left leg pulls in, switch your grip. Same grip, just switch the fingers. Gentle points of the left toes, kicking through right heel just a little bit, activating that right leg. And again, just pulling the left knee toward the left armpit a bit, tucking the chin a little bit, back of the head stays on the ground, just all this a little bit because we're not yet warmed up. One more good breath. Inhale, send both legs long again, arms overhead. In any way you'd like to stretch here, and then take both knees in, side by side, feet side by side, and just pulling again the shins in toward the body, so compressing the low belly, and sending the tail toward the bottom of the mat, and again tucking the chin. So again, we're straightening the spine a bit, pulling in, gently massaging the organs just by that compression and breath. One more breath. And sending the legs long, arms again, reach up, option, if that feels good. You can also take, lean over to one side with the arms and then lean over to the other side. So just kind of a big side stretch. And then we'll bring the hands back, knees in. And again, just give that little rock, side to side, adding some movement. Let's bring the feet back down to the ground, right ankle on top of left leg. Into figure 4 just for a moment, either pressing right thigh away or pulling the left leg in, holding the shin, or holding the hamstring if you'd like to extend the left leg. Here again, you can rock if you like. Making sure your right ankle is straight, so we're not rolling it at all. Keeping it straight, you'll get a little bit more of a good stretch into the hip instead of the joint. Exhale when it comes, send the left leg down, right foot down, switch sides. Left ankle on right side, press left thigh away or pull the right leg in. Just about 4 breaths. One more good breath. Bringing that right foot back down, left foot back down. Let's take the knees in one more time, and we'll come up and through. So you're welcome to roll forward and back. You can hold the back to the legs, or if you prefer, you can roll to the side and come all the way through. So we're going to move into all fours and right into down dog when you're ready. So if you need to pass through a little bit of cat-cow or anything like that, or maybe just a neutral spine for the moment with the knees on the ground, and then walking the hands a little bit forward, curling toes under, pressing heels down, lifting hips up, pressing into thumb and first finger, pulling shoulders back away from the ears. Take 3 good breaths here. Just notice what you feel. With your in-breath, let's come forward to plank. So just bringing the body over the wrists, hands. If you'd like, so you can set the knees down, coming into diagonal plank, or keep the knees up, kick through heels. Take 3 good breaths. So 2 more. And just soften the gaze toward the top of the mat, or a little bit beyond that if you're on the knees. On your exhale, pull low belly in more, and elbows bend, hug them in, come all the way down or float. If you're doing chaturanga, inhale, lift heart, cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back down dog. Big breath. When you're ready, we'll walk the dog, bring the hands back to the feet. Holding shins or grabbing those big toes with your 2 fingers inside, pointer finger, middle finger inside the big toe, thumbs outside. Inhale, lift, exhale, fold. 3 breaths. Again, just be gentle here. This is all part of your warm-up. Inhale, lift heart, walk the hands again back out, down dog. Inhale, forward plank, knees floating, pause. Press into thumb and first finger, bend the elbows just a little bit, hug them in. 1 more breath. Exhale, come down slow, all the way to the belly or floating. Inhale, lift heart, point toes. Press up and back. All 4s, down dog or child's pose, your choice. Take 3 good breaths wherever you go. Maybe your cat-cow in all 4s. Wherever you are, go ahead and set the knees down. Come on into child's pose for 3 good breaths. Follow again your in-breath. Come back up, all 4s, cat-cow all together now. So if you've already done a cat-cow forward and back, if you prefer, you can take it side to side this time, or go for that forward and back. Flexing of the spine with the breath. As you inhale, open front body. As you exhale, round under, stretch. And again, when you're ready, coming back to down dog, walking the dog. Hands come back to the feet. This time, ragdoll. Inhale, lift heart. Exhale, forward fold, holding the elbows. Or maybe just rocking side to side here. Let the head go. Go inward, feel the spine all the way from the tailbone lengthening. Find that space between each vertebra. From here, letting the hands come down. So just pausing, bring the right hand to ground, bend the right knee, left arm draws up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down, bend left knee, open right side. Inhale. Exhale, switch. 2 more rounds like that. Bending the knee, right knee as much as you want or need to. Exhale. Inhale, open right side. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale, back to ragdoll. When you're ready, walking your dog into your plank. 1 more time, that push up. On the knees or floating. Inhale, lift heart. Up dog or cobra, open the front body. Exhale, back to down dog. So from down dog or all fours, we're going to extend the right leg and reach it back. Kick the 3-legged tabletop or dog. Get strong on your palms. Bend the knee, open the hips. If you're in down dog or even in tabletop, you can flip it if you're feeling steady and clear, if that would feel good to you. If you are flipped, look back where your hand goes and pivot back. Inhale. Straighten that right leg. Exhale. Set it down. When you're ready, left side. Inhale. So 3-legged dog or tabletop with the knee on the ground. Bend the knee, open the hip. Can flip your table by turning your shin a little bit to the right. Careful with your knee. And carefully coming back, look where that hand goes, extend left leg. Exhale, set it down, child's pose. Or another push up if you're feeling that. Follow the in breath, come on up to all fours. Back to down dog. This time we'll step up, top of the mat when you're ready. Lift heels, look forward, hop if you like, land lightly, bring the big toes in together here. Reach the heart, exhale, fold. Inhale, press down, twist up. Taking the arms all the way up. Hands to sides or through to the heart. And just pause. Separate the feet when you're ready, about 6 inches apart, right underneath the hips here. Left foot steps back, warrior 1. Back heel grounded, outer edge of your back foot grounded. So the toes turn out about 45 degrees, bend into your front knee. Breathing here. Soften the gaze. You can look forward, just a neutral neck, or look up, lifting from the heart rather than, the head going up. 1 more good breath. Palms come to heart, hands to hips, step up, left foot steps up. Feet still separated, right foot steps back. Just keep that space between them as you step back, taking the arms up when you're ready, bending into front knee. Two more good breaths, soft gaze here. And again, hands to heart, to hip step up, right foot. Bring the big toes in together, Samasthiti, just pausing and standing, equal standing posture. Pick a point right in front of you and just let your gaze settle there, and then kind of crossing the eyes here, softening the edges of whatever you're seeing there. Take 2 breaths right here. Bring the hands to the hips when you're ready. Step your right foot out wide, wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to turn to face you. Turn the toes in toward each other, a wide space between your feet. So your legs length a little more than that. Lifting the heart, pointing tail. So you're lengthening up and down, reaching forward and out, keeping that length. Hands to the shin or to the ground. Lift the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you stay halfway to keep that length. Or if you can keep the length and just hinge from the hip. Two more good breaths in and out the nose. Inhale, lift the heart, come up halfway, engage core, exhale. Hands to hips, come all the way up. Walk the feet in just a tiny bit. Turn the right toes to the back of the mat, arms reach out to T-lift, heart, reach out. Extended triangle, right hand to shin, left arm reaches up. Lengthen heart, spine. Turning the gaze up eventually, breathe, breathe, breathe. Core, even more than you think you can. Bring that in, lift up. Arms to feet, pivot the feet. Shifting, other side. Left toes point forward, lift heart. And exhale, reach out and down. Leaning the heart back. Taking up space, reaching up. Two more breaths. Give the kitty some treats next. One more breath. On your exhale, right hand comes all the way down to the ground. Left hand frames left foot. And pivot the back heel up. Set that right knee down. Take the arms up overhead. Lunge. And cat treat. 3 good breaths here. Arms can go up and overhead or to heart. Option again to look forward or look up. From here, bring the hands down through center. So if you're in a bit of a split, bring your back knee forward. So it's squared up a little more. Hands to heart for twist, lift up. Exhale, let's bring the right hand to the ground. Left arm up. Unless you prefer to take the elbow beyond left thigh. And again, lengthening the spine. You can check in with the back of the hips to see if they're level. If you're kind of leaning up on one side or drooping a little too far with one hip, try to even that out. So from the even hips that we extend through the spine and twist around that length, one more good breath. On your exhale, bring both hands inside the left foot. Tap the cat, quarter turn. Back to wide-legged forward fold, and then all the way around into lunge on the other side. So you can always take your back knee up if you'd rather take a high lunge. About 3 good breaths. Squeeze our thighs together in any case if the back knee is up or down. On your exhale, palms to heart again. If you're in that split kind of shape, you're going to bring the back knee in a little bit. Just so you're squared up a little more. Hands to heart, lift up. And exhale, left hand down, right arm draws up. If you want to move back into that sort of split shape, just as long as you're steady here with the legs. And again, that leveling of the hips. Kind of a very particular move, just to pay attention to that. And zooming out from there, so there's lots of little details we can focus on, but coming back to that breath again. On the exhale again, hands come down, and let's pivot turn one more time. all the way around to the front of the mat. Step both feet back, left foot back, chaturanga option. Hello, cat. Cat cow option. Down dog, child's pose. And again, cat treat. Take a few good breaths wherever you land. You're in child's pose or down dog. One more good breath. So if you are in down dog, go ahead and set the knees down. Let's come to child's pose again. Big breath. From here, option to walk the hands over to the right. Big side stretch. Nice deep breath. On the in-breath again, hands come to center, maybe over to the other side. Again, follow the in-breath, hands come forward, release the head, one more good breath. And from here, coming forward into Sphinx pose, coming to the forearms and the belly. I'm just pausing here. If you'd rather release the head to the ground, the hands can come together, maybe forehead can come to the ground. Just taking a moment, maybe upright for a couple breaths. Checking in with the hips. So kind of driving the pelvis into the ground, sending the tailbone down between the heels. So you feel that as your glutes turn on, as you engage there and take a little tilt under or tuck under the tail, kind of feel the lift into the spine from the low back up. From here, let's go ahead and release the head. If you want to watch for a moment, so releasing the head, an option to rock feet or also lift feet into the air, rocking or circling here. Or just stillness here if that's better for you. And when you're ready, coming back to Sphinx pose, I'm just going to turn to face you. So we'll extend the right arm and take a twist, threading the needle. Left arm goes through and under. Again, if you need to watch, just watch for a moment. You'll come to the outer edge of your left arm, palm stack, and just playing around with your right hip. So if the hip pops up, see if you can drive it into the ground as you turn. And twist, remember, just like we did in our lunge twist, evening the hips and lengthening spine and turning around that. Another good breath. Bringing the top hand down, press into the ground, come back to Sphinx, left arm extends, sliding, right arm through, thread the needle, back in the palm. Kitty has catnip on her nose. It's cute. Then again, that left hip, just notice if it's kind of popping up, or if you prefer to get a little more out of it, press the front of the left hip into the ground and notice what you feel there. Pressing into the palms, you're stacking the joints here, elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow. Another good breath. Left palm comes down, you're ready to press into the ground, back to Sphinx, pause. So if you prefer, again, the head can go down, or you can keep a lift into the upper chest. Just a moment. So from here, we'll take a pec stretch and what may also help our back. So just mindful if this is an issue with your neck, just be very careful if you want to watch again. feel free to do that. So you're going to place your left ear to the ground, left arm out, right hand's going to support. Take a breath, and when you're ready from here, you're going to roll the hip. So this is another variation on twist. Bending the right toes back and behind you. The knee can be bent, the leg can be straight. It's totally up to you. Just keeping that right hand for support. Letting the neck be soft. Take 3 good breaths if you're in a good spot here. So assuming that you have lots of support with that hand, and you can just let the neck soften. If you have to really engage the neck, maybe skip this one or just do it without turning the hip. Go ahead and come back. When you're ready, we'll take the other side. So the right arm out, right ear to the ground, left hand to support, and just carefully taking that left leg up and back. Notice how it feels, maybe a little different. Take some nice deep breaths. Again, coming back, so letting the hips come down, coming back to six. We're going to repeat that one more time and do it a little bit differently. So you can repeat what we just did. Again, if you need to, just stay with the head grounded and not move the hips at all. If you're ever worried about the neck, just stay there and get the stretch that way. Another variation, there's lots of ways to do this. So we took the arm straight out, right? So an option is to bend your extended arm elbow into 90 degrees, and you'll probably feel that quite a bit more. Another option is to take the arm up a little higher. So if it was a clock, you just take it up closer to 12. And I'm sure there's a million other ways. You could also reach back for your foot as it rolls over. I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's just kind of fun. And you get away from the stretch, which is what we're looking for. Or maybe it feels really good to you. So if you want to try that, by all means, and you're pretty practiced. So we'll take the left arm, again, left ear, and choose the one you like. So I'm going to bend my left elbow at a 90-degree angle and keeping the palm flat on the ground. And that right hand also flat on the ground and turning my hips back. So right leg goes up and back. And taking 5 good breaths. This is definitely a stretch you can do at the wall as well. Carefully coming back and supporting that. Roll back with that right hand, right arm out. So if you're following me, bending the right elbow 90 degrees. Right ear on the ground. From here, rolling the left leg up and back, hips open. One more good breath. Carefully, again, coming back, supporting it with the left hand. I'm just resting the forehead on the ground. Hands can be up or back at the side. I'm just taking a moment. Sliding the hands right beside the ribcage, press yourself up and through either all fours, child's pose or down dog. So whichever direction, way, stretch that feels good to you right now. And let's take our three-legged tabletopper dog one more time. So another option to flip if it feels good to you. Extend the right leg, then knee, open hip. Maybe that's it. Again, on all fours, you can carefully turn the shin back for a little kickstand. Look where that right hand goes. Bring it back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, set it down. Other side, left leg extends when you're ready. Exhale, bend knee, open hip. flip if you haven't yet. Come back if you have. Inhale, extend leg. Set the knee down. And let's come on into a seat. So from here, extending the legs for a moment, maybe shaking them out, see what feels good. Just get into your seat. Water. From here, let's keep the legs extended. Bring the right foot in and coming to a half butterfly or a tree in your seat. Arms reach up. Little turn twist and leading the heart toward that second toe, hands to shin or foot. Use the strap if you have one if you want to. Keep a lace in the spine. Good job, Suki. Exhale, full. Take 3 more breaths. Soften the right knee. Gently kicking through that left leg, so you're keeping it engaged. One more breath. Follow the in-breath, come back up. Option to take the arms up overhead. And bring that right hand back behind you. Option here to reach up and lift the hips, carefully rolling onto the knee. Or just keeping the hips grounded, and you can still get into that nice side stretch, front body opener, and come on back with the hips. Come into your seat. Right leg extends. Left heel draws in. You can share. There's another kitty over there. Yeah, inhale, lift up. Sorry, you know where we're going. Go ahead into forward fold. Soften the left knee. 5 good breaths. And just softening the gaze right past the tip of the nose. So in general, that point can be the toes or the knee. Sometimes the belly. Inhale to come on up. Let's take the arms up, reach. Left hand behind. If you like to lift the hips or not, just reach up and back. Take a breath. Big front body opener. Notice what your right toes want to do, if they want to pop up or if they want to ground. And come on back. So from here, let's take cross legs. I've got a couple things in mind. I'm just trying to figure out where to go first. So we'll take the arms up. Bring the right elbow under and eagle arms. So lots of options here. The hands can stay together. They can come to the shoulders. We're going to be here for a little bit. I really wish you could see the kitty. She's rolling around. It's adorable. The legs can stay crossed. If you want more hip opening, we're going to get to that. But if you want more right now, you can stack the legs, or you can just keep them crossed. Up to you. Lifting up with the chest. If your hands are together, maybe lifting the arms up. And staying, and wherever feels good for you, we're going to be here for a little while so you can explore. You can also round forward, either with the hands together or hands on the shoulders. So if you're getting a nice stretch by lifting the elbows, feel free to stay there and breathe. So that's definitely an active stretch. Take some deep breaths. And here we're letting, the shoulder blades pull apart. Stretching into those rhomboids, the maybe tight muscles behind the heart. And or maybe you're folding forward, letting the head go and getting that stretch in that way. Stay a little longer if you like. If you are ready, come on up. We'll take the arms up overhead. And just bring the hands to the sides if you'd like to. Go ahead and switch the leg. So either just cross-legged or stack the leg that's in front now on top. Arms come up. Inhale, left elbow under. Other side. So again, as always, just notice the difference. You're probably going to feel something or a lot of something. Lifting up, exploring all those different places. Taking deep breaths through the nose. about a minute we'll be here, so you can just kind of feel around as you lift up, as you hug in, maybe as you release hands to shoulders or keep them together. So this pose is just showing me how tight my right side is in all the different ways. And helping me with that, breathing as you breathe, sending that in-breath in where you feel it, letting those areas receive. And gently, when you're ready, coming out, taking the arms up or taking the hands back, or both. And just extending the legs again. So we've got a little bit longer. So from here, she's got the trees again. Really good at that. Legs forward. There's a couple options. We're going to do more hip opening. So it's similar to stacking, but it's going to be a bit different. So you're going to stack the knees instead of the shins. Other variations for that are the left leg can go forward and you can just do a half. You can stack the knees still. Come on. And a little press pose you can do is hands behind, bend up the left knee. And just see if you can get into the hips that way. Another variation for this stretch is to come onto your back and start to pull, again, that bottom leg in. So it's just helping you to compress this bent knee into the body. You can take it this way, or you can send that left leg out to the side and give a little cool down. So just exploring all these different sensations. And ultimately, if you can, and it feels good to you, and if you can't, I would suggest just going to the back and doing it this way, just stacking the knees. And any variations here with the heels can be drawn in. That'll be a little less intense. With the feet turned kicked out, with the shins parallel and forward, be a little more intense. So hands stay right here, or if it feels good to you to fold, I'm going to add a bind for this one. So if you'd like to follow me, you can also use your strap or your towel. Right arm draws up and behind the heart, and grabbing with the left hand. This variation, another variation is just that left hand to the elbow. An option here to fold. All right, so maybe we've explored all the options. Just pick one, stay there for about 10 breaths. So if that sounds terrible, just stay wherever you are for 10 breaths, just back off. And maybe shorten it or do a little less for 10 breaths. You helping? About 4 more breaths. So if folding forward suits you and you can get the chin over the knee, great. That's kind of the classical kind of shape, not necessary though. Really nice point for the thyroid, parathyroid, but we can get that in lots of other ways. You don't have to hit that point with your knee today. If you're folded or if you're on your back, so come on up if you're folded. If you're on your back, bring the feet to the ground and release the legs. And just maybe rock the knees side to side in either case if you're seated or on your back. And bending, let's see, left knee on top for the next one, other side, right? Knee under, knee, and pulling it into the body. And maybe this is a nice place to be. You can stay here. Other variation, bottom leg straight, so half what is called cow face pose, or on the back, pulling that shin in, or bending the feet out. I know there's a lot of options. So pick one, and generally we try to do what we did on the first side for this type of practice. So if you're doing the bind, the left arm goes up, left hand behind the heart, right hand to elbow, or use your strap there, or reach for your left fingertips with your right hand. Just trying to open the chest rather than round under, even though you might be folding forward. And again, those 10 deep breaths. Psychically communicate with your cat. Or my cat. If you don't have a cat, Vicky will talk to you. She's sending out thoughts right now. Mostly about kibble and catnip. 2 more breaths. And again, on the exhale, release that bottom hand if you have the bind, top hand, and coming back up if you're folded, setting the feet to the ground, rocking the knees side to side, maybe a happy baby if you're on your back. And if you are on your back, go ahead and come on up. We'll take one more seated pose. So we're going to take the feet wide. Wide-legged forward fold in our feet. Gently kicking the heels out, working the hips under the body. So that's why I'm pressing down, lifting up a little bit, and tucking the hips under. Hands come behind to start, lift, spine up. We won't be here for a long, long time. Gentle kick again through heels, long legs, and start to walk. Maybe the hands come forward, maybe they come to shins, or maybe they stay back. Just bringing yourself into fold if it is serving you right now, if that helps. It's a little too much. Just stay upright. Just being in the shape is enough. Breathing here. Soften gaze again. So that drishti gaze, that's part of the practice. The breath, part of the practice. And then, of course, the shape with the body, the asana, to create a steady and joyful seat. Is the point of this posture practice. If you're folded, when you're ready, start to come back up, walk the hands in, and maybe grabbing from under the knees gently, bringing the legs together. Come on through all fours, and down dog if you like, or if you're in all fours, I'm going to rock the hips a little bit. So your time, if there's something you need to work out after those big hip openers, if you'd like to follow me, coming forward into plank, into that push-up, and then lifting up, up dog or cobra for a while. So we're going to be here for a couple breaths. And if you can, pressing into the tops of the toes, tops of the feet, lifting the knees up off the ground, kind of dropping the hips down as you lift the heart. The big front body opener, rolling shoulders open, lifting the gaze from the center of the chest, really from the whole front body, from the toes, like lifting up that way. And from here, rolling back over the toes, down dog. And setting the knees down. All right, so we've got one more weird pose that we're going to do. We're going to do a big arch of the spine. It's called rabbit, and it's you'll watch first. I'll go through it. But if you see it and you're like, I don't think that's going to be good for me, you can just take cat stretch and you can really work the round in your cat stretch. So it's kind of the same. So you'll just stay in cat for a little while, for a couple breaths. With rabbit pose, I'll just set it up for you. The legs will come together and you'll sit upright. You're going to grab your heels from the inside. Nope, just kidding. Is that right? Yeah, okay, from the inside if you can. So eventually, I can't really get my heels while I'm up, but as I come down, I can grab the heels. So just watch for a moment. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to stop talking. Breathe, inhale, exhale, round in. So like a little nautical shell, tucking from the chin. The top of the head comes to the ground. Okay, so I'm grabbing from the outside on my heels, feet together. And just a little weight on the top of the head, not a lot of weight there. Rounding up and pulling on my heels as possible. If you have your shins, that's okay. You'll start there. If you need to, your hands can be on the ground so you can round up. But ideally, if you can reach back, grab for your heels will come together there. You'll arch up, which can cause a cramp in your core. So just be mindful of how much you're engaging there, but you'll know. You'll know where to stop after that cramp. And after a couple times of this practice, it'll go away. It'll start to normalize and go, okay, you want me to do that. So feet together, lift up to the spine, tall spine first. Inhale, tuck the chin in. Tuck the chin in, top of the head to the ground, heels together, toes flat. Grabbing the outside of the heels. Let the arms be pulled back. Bring the hips over the knees. So you're lifting the hips up, 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 and rounding in. Just a little bit of weight on the top of the head. Keep pulling on those heels. Lift up. Take 3 more breaths. You got it. 2 more. Nice. 1 more. Carefully coming back out as you inhale, unrounding back up to your seat. Nice. So if you ever get, for me personally, that really works out the stress that I get up here on the tops of my shoulders. Feels nice to me. You might feel it very differently though. So let's come into cat-cow just for a moment. Let the spine rebound. Just a little gentle movement. And when you're ready from here, come on to your back and lay down flat. So again, just letting the spine reset from that. If you'd like, the knees again can bend here, or you can send the legs straight down. Just pause, take a moment. Taking the arms out to T, maybe the palms turn down. As you press into the ground with your arms, and just letting the knees fall side to side. And any last movements that you would like here before resting pose. So again, if your low back is a little tender or tight, again, pulling the knees in. And just kind of straightening the spine a little bit. You're sending the tail down, tucking the chin in. And then sending the legs down the mat into a Shavasana shape, whatever that is for you today. Maybe that classical shape on your back, palms turned up, heels in, toes turn out. If you need to, you can just rest on your belly if you prefer to do that today. Maybe have a pillow. Wherever you go, make sure that you can relax the body. So any little adjustments, shifts, or little extra things that you might need. Once you're set, let's take 3 breaths with exhale in lion's breath. So as you inhale through the nose, as you exhale, you're going to stick the tongue out, cross the eyes, and go and send out that ujjayi kind of breath through the mouth. So releasing the heat in the practice. Inhale when you're ready in the nose. And exhale, stick the tongue out, cross the eyes. Open the mouth wide. Inhale, nose. Exhale. Inhale. And letting that go. Letting go of the breath's work. Letting the body rest, returning back to your breath and the bones of the body and just being heavy. Be still. Stay here, let your body sink down a little more. Let yourself soften. Just continuing to be present with yourself. Softening more and more and more than you think you can. Noticing your heartbeat. Noticing the rhythm of your breath. Take a deep inhale with that next in breath and send it down into the toes and the fingers and the belly and the back. And another inhale, start to add little movements and shifts. You may take the knees in, turn to the side, gently press yourself up to your feet. Maybe keeping the eyes closed for the moment or just continuing to soften the gaze. When you're ready, bring your palms together, thumbs rest on the chest, and just again connecting to the heart. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale slow. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thanks for practicing. Stay in your meditation or your Shavasana if you'd like a longer one. We'll see you next week.